What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Week in this grand final week. In this episode, we'll be going through storylines going into the grand final. There's always a bunch of storylines, but I've got a list of a lot. So let's go through them. Let's get into it. Just before we do jump straight into it, I can see that still there's like 45% or so of people who are watching me unsubscribed. Please just hit that subscribe button. You don't have to pay anything. It's all free. Just hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. Kind of want to hit 6,000 before the grand final. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but that would be a goal. But anyway, thank you to you. If you have just clicked subscribe, I appreciate you. If you're already subscribed, I really do appreciate you. Let's get into these storylines. So, like I said, there is a lot of storylines always going into grand finals, whether that be, you know, a team hasn't won it for 70 years, or the Dan McStay, Taylor Adams sort of storyline, Presta Giacomo in 2010. So I've got a list of 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 storylines, and there could be a lot more, but these are the ones that I've kind of just popped off on the top of my head. If you have any more sort of storylines that I haven't mentioned, leave them in the comment section below and we'll have a chat about them. But we're going to start, they're in no really particular order, so we'll just start top down. So the first one, Bobby Hill dropped for the 2019 grand final. So when the Giants beat us in the prelim in 2019, Bobby Hill was playing in that game, and then Bobby Hill was subsequently dropped for the grand final. And that's not just like because of injury or anything. He was dropped for the grand final. So now Bobby Hill has that chance to play in his first grand final after, coincidentally, beating the Giants in a prelim to go into the grand final. So I really do like that one. Number 2, Elliott and Moore missed the 2018 grand final. So we know that Elliott didn't play 2018 at all. Couple of I think it was an ankle, a hamstring maybe. So he didn't play the 2018 season at all. Darcy Moore, on the other hand, had a here and there season with injuries and stuff like that. I think 2018 was when they went to Germany with the doctor that I'm definitely not going to pronounce now. And Nathan Buckley a couple of weeks ago came out and said that he nearly played Darcy Moore in the 2018 grand final. So who knows what would have happened if he played. But now those two get a chance to play in a grand final. Obviously, Darcy playing it as captain and Elliott playing it after a career best season. Storyline number 3, which is a pretty big one, is McRae and Lepper won their third grand final against the Pies 20 years ago, and 21 years ago they won their second grand final, and it was against the Pies as well. So McRae and Lepper have a chance, an opportunity to go 3-0 when Collingwood and Brisbane play in a grand final at the MCG. So that's huge. So 2 people who helped defeat us in 2002 and 2003 now have the chance to win us a premiership. It's crazy. It's kind of like, Lee Matthews in 1990 winning a premiership for Collingwood, but breaking the Collywobbles, and I think it was like a 50-something year drought. And then 2002, 2003 coaching Brisbane and beating the Pies in that. So I guess there's another sort of little storyline for you. Number 4, as I already kind of mentioned this, is Dan McStay and Taylor Adams, the heartbreak storyline. The storylines that you don't really want. Craig McRae came out and said today, pretty much put his hand up and said, look, hamstring's still not right. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to, martyr myself, take the sort of bullet. Which kind of reminds me of 2010 when Simon Presta Giacomo did the exact same thing on the, not the eve or the verge of the grand final. And that's why we were giving the 35 jersey to all our first draft pick players, because of Presti's sacrifice. And someone on Twitter, PM6 Design, I think off the top of my head, said Alan Richardson did that in 1990. So 2 players to do that in their grand final years. The team went on to win a grand final. Adams does it now. Does the team go on to win a grand final? Who knows, but it's a good omen to have. Number 5, Maynard redemption. So I wrote this down here because we all know what happened in 2018. We've all seen the replays. Whenever it's grand final week, that grand final comes out every single time. And it is a bit of a Maynard redemption arc, especially with what happened in the qualifying final against Melbourne. Maynard has a chance to right the wrong, sorry, not his wrong, wasn't his fault, of the 2018 Grand Final. And, you know, he's so much better of a player now, and he's so much of a better player for what happened in 2018. So I got that as a little bit of a storyline. Going to the sort of Collingwood-Brisbane side in general, we've lost the last 6 wins. Sorry, we've lost the last 6 games to the Lions. So we haven't beaten them with McRae at the helm. We haven't beaten them since 2017, I think. No, that can't be right. Damn, I should have looked at that before I got it. But I'm sure you'll let me know when the last time we beat them. But anyway, we've lost the last 6 to the Lions, which is crazy, absolutely nuts. So that in and of itself is a really big storyline if we can beat the Lions and break that hoodoo. Another one is kind of like the Maynard redemption, and this is number 3, 4, 5, 6. It's number 7, storyline number 7. Jordan De Goey coming of age. This time last year, Jordan De Goey had that infamous Bali trip. We didn't know if he was going to be a Collingwood player. He had a contract from St Kilda. I sort of, you know, didn't know what was happening and if I wanted him even on the team anymore. But you could see this year that he has really grown, not even just as a player, but as a person. I don't know him personally, but from what I see, from the interviews that he has, from how Craig McRae talks about him and stuff, even last week he came out and said that, you know, Jordan De Goey was seeing a coming of age. And it's a real full circle moment for Jordan De Goey. Had a really, really good 2018 Grand Final. I think he kicked 3 or 4 goals off the top of my head. Now he has the chance to do it again. He broke open that final against the Giants, and I dare say he's going to have a big game, probably a cheeky normie, against the Lions on Saturday. So, this one, storyline number 8. Pendles and Sidey are both playing in their 5th Grand Final, so 2010 draw, 11, 18, and now the one against Brisbane. They have a chance to become dual premiership players for the Pies. This hasn't happened since the 50s, which is crazy. So obviously we've only won 2 Grand Finals in 63 years or whatever it is, whatever that bloody stat is. So that's why they're obviously going to become the second the dual premiership players since the 50s, when I think it was we were winning all those premierships and stuff like that. So that's huge for them, playing in their 5th Grand Final each as well. And they want that. They want that second premiership, and we want them to have that second premiership. Another one that's kind of on the same sort of line, number 8, is we haven't won a premiership in September in 60 years. The 1990 premiership, October. 2010, first game, September. The second game, the replay, was in October. So we haven't won a premiership in September in 60 years, which is crazy to think about. We've been in so many since then, and now we have a chance to, you know, the last weekend of September, we have a chance to win it. Number 10, I've just got this story written down here as Markov. Markov has been absolutely incredible. His story is absolutely incredible. Kind of reminds me of sort of like a Marlon Pickett in, was it 2019, where he debuted in the Grand Final and went on to have a really big Grand Final. 12 months ago, Markov, delisted by the Suns, was probably going to play in the Quaffle. The Pies, well, we know the story. The Pies got him to train. We won with Oscar Steen. He goes to Carlton for a day. Charlie Dean injures his foot. The Pies give him a contract and says, play with us. He's played 23 of a possible 25 games, or 22 of a possible 25 games for the Pies this season. Has kept John Noble out of the team and has a chance to play in a premiership. What the hell? That is one of the biggest storylines going into it. Another storyline 11, Jamie Elliott in 2019, we haven't really talked about this, I don't think, in a video or anything, but Jamie Elliott in 2019 nearly went to the Lions. If you remember, he toured the Lions facility and wanted to sort of change the scenery, but stayed with the Pies. He grew up a Brisbane Lions supporter because he lived in Queensland for the first couple of years of his life. And now he has an opportunity to win a premiership against his boyhood club, against the club he nearly went to on Saturday. two storylines that just popped up in the last couple of hours, these last two, so 12 and 13. Billy Frampton, picked up from Adelaide, was going to be sort of a bit player. Throughout the year, we said, oh, Frampton kind of reminds us of Leroy Brown a little bit, and what he sort of does and stuff. Bit of a jack of all trades. He has been named in the side, which is crazy. If you had told me, if you had told anyone 12 months ago that Billy Frampton would be playing in a grand final, you'd be laughing. You wouldn't. You just wouldn't even say that. But now, Billy Frampton has an opportunity to etch his name in Collingwood history. They'll probably mostly play him as a forward. He'll chop out in the ruck. If we need him down in defence, he'll do that. But I think a defensive forward on Harris Andrews is probably what's going to be happening. But that is, in and of itself, he didn't play any of the finals, right? I don't think, he didn't play any of the finals. So that is, in and of itself, a huge, huge, huge story. The last one I've got here is, it's just been announced that Peter Moore, Darcy's father, will be presenting the Premiership Cup if/when Collingwood win the Premiership. So, could you imagine? So Peter, he infamously threw out his Premiership medal, runners-up Premiership medal on the podium. I think that was in 1970. I want to say 1977, but I've got a really bad memory. It was definitely in the 70s. Threw out the runner-up medal because they used to hand out runner-up medals, and then they stopped after that. He has the chance to present his son with the Premiership Cup on Saturday. After, Peter couldn't win a Premiership, won a couple of grounds, couldn't win a Premiership. He has a chance to present Darcy Moore with a cup if we're to win. And I think that's the best storyline of them all. And I guess number 14 on that I didn't have written down. Darcy Moore, first year as captain, could have a chance to be a Premiership captain. There is a lot of storylines going into this game, and I think that's the best thing about football or sport in general. We love it, we hate it sometimes, but there's always these little things in these sort of big games, like, Manchester City playing in the Champions League final a couple of months ago, had the chance to win a Champions League, under Pep, something that we haven't accomplished before, and something that everyone was like, oh yeah, you won three EPLs in a row, but you haven't won Champions League yet, and now he did it. Lots of storylines, and every sort of team has it, and I'm sure Brisbane have 14 storylines as well, but these are our stories. These are etched, or will hopefully be etched in our history, and we'll preview the game tomorrow and stuff like that, but there are a lot of stories going into this grand final, and it's always a big occasion. These stories, I guess, make it a little bit bigger, but far out. If we can tick off all of these, God, football will be coming back home. Incredible. But look, like I said, if you have any storylines that I failed to mention, I did mention 14, but if you have any that I failed to mention, leave your thoughts down below. I'll be at the open training session tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a swooping around, so make sure you come find me. I would love you. I've got some stickers and stuff to sort of give away and all that jazz. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.